My dear students, good morning to one and all. Once again, I welcome you all for the second year English webinar session. After a break, hope you all had your physical classes and you have cleared all your doubts in your school. My dear students, I think you have started your revision because most of the lessons have been completed in the webinars, and you also had your physical classes in your school. And now, once again, today, I wish to introduce N. Kalyani Reddy, working as PGT English at Chegunta Model School, Medak District. I think she needs no introduction because she has taken up many webinars in her first year and second year. Today, once again, your madam, Kalyani madam, is going to enlighten you all the detailed blueprint or the examination paper, the question paper pattern and everything, how you have to answer and how easily you can get or score your marks. In addition to that, she will also discuss the time management, that is wherein you have section A, B, C. So how much time you can allot for each section. Madam would give you some useful and experiential tips so that you can excel in your examination. Now I wish N. Kalyani Reddy madam to continue.
Thank you, Rajni ma'am. Hello, children. I hope you all are doing very well. Let me not waste any time now. Let us today talk about question paper pattern, blueprint, and what are the tips that you have to follow while you are attempting the paper, children. So, let's start, children. Just give me a moment. I hope you all have started preparation, children. So how is it going on? And just give me one moment. All right. Okay. So let me take you through today's session, children. In this session, we will be discussing about the deleted syllabus and the syllabus that is retained for us. Because of the COVID pandemic, there are little changes in the portion also, children. So we will be discussing about it. And later on, we will move to the question paper pattern for the second year. And then I'll also get you acquainted with the blueprint of the paper. And then I shall give you some tips on how you have to manage your time while writing the examination. Because compared to first year, second year paper is seems to be a little lengthier, children. So you need to be very meticulous and very systematic when you are actually answering the paper. So I'll be giving you a few tips regarding how you have to plan and manage your time while attempting the paper, children. So let's move on. Coming to the deleted syllabus of our English second year, children, you just take a look at the screen. You can see in module 1 poetry, I celebrate myself, and then comprehension and composition study skills 1, vocabulary a part of it, and then understanding non-verbal data tables. Tree diagrams and flowcharts are reduced for this year, children, because you missed a lot of classes, right? And the page numbers are also given here. If you want, you can take a screenshot of it, children. And then under module 2, unit 8, under letter writing, children, only informal letters are being reduced, but we do have formal letters in our syllabus, children. Then coming to module 4, unit 13, prose, the poem titled Polluting the World. Okay, I'm sorry, the text, it's an article and it is titled as Polluting the World. This is deleted from our syllabus, children, only for this year. And then under module 5, the complete module, if you see the sandbox, which is a one-act play, is being reduced. And then short story titled Don't Die Hilton, Don't Die is also reduced for this year, children. Now coming to module 6, unit 22, comprehension passages numbers 10, 11, 12, and 13 are being reduced for this year, children. So I think we have a better chances and fair chances of scoring more marks this year, children. Now, coming to the question paper pattern, children, just like your first year, even in second year, you have three sections. That is, section A for 40 marks, section B for 16 marks, and section C for 44 marks. Now, under section A, which carries 40 marks, you will be having questions from literature, and the questions will be annotations and question and answers, children. Now, under section B, which carries 16 marks, you will be given two comprehension passages and then an advertisement and graphs. Now, coming to section C, which carries 44 marks, children, you have study skills under this segment. Okay, now let's dig deeper into this blueprint once again, children. Now, section A, as I told you, it is your literature section that carries 40 marks. That is, you will be having prose, poetry, and short stories, question and answers, and annotations from this segment, children. Now, coming to section B, you will be having comprehension passages. Now, these comprehension passages, one will be a passage that is from your short story, and the other would be from the passages that are given at the back of the textbook, children. There are a few passages given in the last pages of your textbook. So from that, you will be getting one passage wherein you have to answer the questions for that. Now, moving on to section C, my dear children, you have study skills, and that's for 44 marks. So you can say that it's a lion's share in our question paper. So you needed to really concentrate on section A and B, and preparation also requires, you need a lot of preparation for section C and section A as well, children. But let's move on. Okay. Now, let us go in detail with section A, children. Now, section A, question number 1 will be annotations from prose, wherein you need to attempt two annotations. Four annotations will be given, unlike last year, children. Till last year, we had three annotations, and you were supposed to write two out of it. But this time, one more question or annotation is increased to children, just to ease you from the syllabus. So, children, this time you will be given four questions or four annotations, and under question number 1, under prose section, you will be getting four annotations, and out of which you have to answer just two of them. Now, moving on to question number 2, under section A, again you will be having annotations, but this time it will be from poetry, and out of four you have to answer only two this time, and then 2 into 4, 8 marks. Now, question number 3 is in section A is questions from prose, children, and this also you will be having four questions, and you need to answer 2 out of 4, children. Again, the marking scheme is same, that is 2 into 4, 8 marks. Now, moving on to question number 4, under section A, you will be having questions from poetry. Again, 4 questions, and then you need to answer 2 out of 4, carry each one carrying 4 marks. So, and a total of 2 into 4, 8 marks. Now, question number 4, this would be the last question in section A. That is, you will be having questions that is from short stories, children. So, in each module, if you have seen, you had one prose lesson and one poem, and you also had a short story, right? So, you will be getting questions from this segment under question number 5 in section A, children. Again, you will be given 4 questions, and you need to answer 2 questions, children. Now, let's take a look at a model paper, children. As we've already discussed, you can see that, section 1 or question 1 under section A is annotations. So here you can see A, B, C, D, 4 annotations are given, and you are supposed to write any 2. Now, take a look at the word limit, my dear children. It is 100 words. So you have to be very specific when you answer them, children. Now, question number 2 again, annotations. And again, you can see A, B, C, D. Just a minute, okay? So you can see A, B, C, D. That is sentences or lines from poems are given here. And you have to write the reference and the context and the meaning, which are otherwise called as annotations, children. So 2 out of 4 again, and then each one carrying 4 marks. So in total, it is 8 marks, children. Now coming to third question again. So you can see again 4, and again the word limit for all of them is 100 words, children. So you need to be very specific when you are attempting them, children. Now again question number 4, you can see these are the questions from the poem again. You can see. So again, 2 you have to answer, children. Question number 5. These are questions from short stories. As I told you earlier, 4 questions, 2 need to be answered, and then you will be getting 4 marks for each, and in total it is 8 marks, children. Okay. Now moving on to section B, which carries 16 marks in total. You will be having 4 questions under this, children. Question number 6, 7, and 8 and 9, children. Question number 6 is a comprehension passage, and this time this passage will be from short story, and then you need to answer 4 questions out of the 6 questions that are given there, and each question carries 1 mark. Now moving on to question number 7, a comprehension passage again, but this passage are general passages which are there in the textbook, children, and again 6 questions will be given out of the passage, and you need to answer any 4 of them, each one carrying 1 mark. Now, moving on to question number 8, you will be given an advertisement, and now you have to read the advertisement, understand that, and there will be 6 questions given there, but you need to answer only 4 of them, each one carrying 1 mark. So, in total, 4 marks, children. Now, question number 9 will be a graph, wherein it could be a graph, it could be a table as well. And what you need to do is, again, the same thing. You need to understand that, and then study that, and then there will be 6 questions given at the end of that, and then you need to answer any 4 of them out of 6, each one carrying 1 mark. So in total, section B will be for 16 marks, children. So take a look at question number 6. Here you can see people were turned back from the counters. If you can guess, this is from The Boy Who Broke the Bank, children. Okay, this is a short story, and just below the paragraph, you can see questions. So 6 questions, out of which you need to answer 4. So, and my suggestion is you better answer all the questions in the order, so that if in case you're doubtful or you haven't written perfectly to any answer, there is always a fair chance of assessing the best, and you will not lose your marks, children. Now you can see question number 7 again. This is a passage, a general passage, which is given from your textbook again, which are at the end of all the lessons, children. So now what you have to do is you need to read it, and then this will be followed by questions. Again, 6 questions. You need to answer 4, and then 1 mark each for that, children. Now, you can see question number 8. There is an advertisement given here, children. So now what you need to do is you need to actually screen the advertisement. Study the advertisement, children. And when you read the advertisement, remember, children, there are certain aspects which you need to consider, children. That is the heading that is given there, and then coming to the content given here, and then the issuing authority, children, and the pictures given and the content written here, children, because most of the questions that are asked about the advertisements are related to these, children. Okay, now let's take a look at the questions given here, children. Okay, what is the advertisement about? What does the railways ban? So if you take a look, let me go back, children. So this talks about you, if you are aware of the heading, and if you're keen about the issuing authority and the content given here, it will be very easy for you to answer these questions, children. Okay, and again, my advice to you all is to answer all the questions, though you are supposed to answer only 4 as a benefit of doubt, children. Let's move on. Okay, as I told you earlier, section B, 9th question, or rather last question in this segment is, you will be given a picture or a bar graph or a pie chart. You need to read understand it, and then you need to answer the questions given at the end of it, children. So take a look at it. These are the questions given here. We have 6 questions here, children, and we are supposed to write 4, but as I told you, it's better you write all the 6. Now let's move on to section C, children, the last segment of our question paper, wherein, question number 10 will be punctuation marks. I hope you all are aware of punctuation marks, isn't it, children? Okay, so that's capital letters, full stops, all these things. Okay, you all know, you're aware of it, and we've dealt with it, and we've been doing it since a long time, right? So you will be given a few sentences in this, wherein you need to uh, write it with punctuation marks again, and you need to attempt 8 of them, and then out of 8. Okay, so you can check here, children. Can you see this? So this is how you will be given punctuation question, children. You can see the sentences here. They are not punctuated. The sentences are not punctuated. You need to, and take a look at the question, children. So the question says, rewrite the following passage or sentences using 8 of the punctuation marks wherever necessary. So be careful with this, children. So you need to write it once again with proper punctuation marks. Okay, it's not that you just write the word with the punctuation, no, or a capital letter. You need to write the complete sentence, okay, or the passage, uh, putting the punctuation marks. And mind you, children, the question says wherever necessary. So you have to check if the punctuation mark is really required there. Okay, and children, you just have to write only 8 punctuation marks, each of them carrying half mark, and in total it will be for 4 marks. Okay, now after that you have the vocabulary or the meanings, that is the match the following, children. Again, you will be given 6 words and then meanings on the other side. So you need to match them and you need to write them, children. You need to attempt only 4 out of 6. But my advice again in section C, please don't take a choice. If you know all of them, it's always better to answer all of them, children. Now, next question number 12 will be idioms and phrases. Idioms and phrases are not a new thing to you, children. You've been studying them for the past 4 or 5 years, even in 10th class, even in intermediate, first year, and even second year, we have these idioms and phrases. And a list of idioms and phrases is also given at the backside of your book, children. Okay, so soon after the prose and poetry, there are a set of idioms and phrases with meanings given in your textbook, children. Take a look at them, read them, children, and most of the idioms and phrases that would come in the exam will be from that, children. Okay, so here what you need to do is you need to understand the meaning of these and you need to make sentences out of them, children. Now, question number 13 is verb pattern. Okay, the tenses play a major role here. You will be given one example there, and you need to make 4 more sentences following the pattern given there, children. Okay, so next you have question number 14, which is filling information. Children, you will be, very soon moving into the world where you need to go to a bank, you need to go to a reservation counter, and you have to fill information in the forms given there. So that was the main purpose of introducing this in your curriculum and even in your examinations, children. So you will be given a form. It could be a DD form, a withdrawal form, or a railway reservation form wherein you need to fill your details. So there will be 10 blanks given. However, you need to write information only in 8 blanks, children, each one carrying half mark, and in total it is for 4 marks. Now moving on, next you have question number 15, which is very, very important and where there is no choice given, children, because this is very important to you, children. That's CV or resume, that is curriculum vitae or resume, wherein if you are going to apply for something, you need to read it, especially for your employment, details about yourself, about your education, and then about your strengths and weaknesses, children. So this is what. Anyways, we are going to have a revision class as well on this, children. So in case you have not you're not really confident about it, not to worry, children. You can really make use of the webinar sessions coming up, and you can really gain a lot of knowledge about this, and you can really write very well in your exams. Now, moving on to question number 16, describing a process. Now, you are so lucky this time that you are having three questions which are given with internal choice here, and you need to attempt just one out of them. Aren't you really lucky, children? Yes, of course. Next, you have formulator. Again, this is also, you are really lucky because you will be given three questions with internal choice, and you need to attempt only one. And each of them will be carrying 4 marks, children. Now comes the question number 8, that is note making. Okay, you will be given a paragraph, and then you need to take out all the important points and make notes. Okay, so and you need also give a suitable heading to that, children. Okay, now next question number 19 is here, stress mark. Okay, so you need to write the stress syllables there, and then you have dialogue writing as question number 20, children. Now, dialogue writing, again, you are lucky this time because you will be given three questions and you need to just write one. How lucky you are this time, children. Now, let's take a look at the questions in the question paper, children, again. All right, this we've already discussed, so let's move on. Okay, so we were discussing about question number 11, match the following, wherein meanings or definitions, you can see column A and column B. Column A, you have words, and then column B, you have the meanings or definitions of these words. You need to just match them, children, and you need to write only the alphabets there. Okay, is it clear, children? Okay, so this is how. And one more thing I would like to tell you is all these words are from your modules, or rather from the lessons that are there in your modules, children. So if you're thorough with the vocabulary given in your lessons, I think you can really do wonders with this section, children. Okay, now coming to question number 12. Okay, so idioms and phrases. Use any four of the following idioms or phrases in sentences of your own. Okay, so now as I told you earlier, go through the idioms and phrases given in your book. Okay, in the revision papers. And then I don't think it will be really difficult for you if you do that, children. Okay, so out of 6, you need to answer only 4, but my advice is please answer all the 6 in this segment, children. Question number 30, verb pattern. You can see here there is an example given, subject, transitive verb, and object. And then based on this example, you need to frame 4 more sentences in the same pattern, children. And my advice is when you do it in the answer paper, children, it is always better that you write the headings, make a table, then write all 4 sentences, because that would really make the presentation look clear and very easy for evaluation as well, children. Now, question number 14 is again, as I told you, blanks, that is information that is to be filled. So the details will be given in the question itself, children. If you can read the question properly once, twice, or thrice, you will find all the details in that, children. Okay, you don't have to really work hard on this. Every detail that you have to fill in the form will be given in the question itself. You just have to identify, so what details in which blank. That's all, children. Okay, take a look at the form and you need to fill this. Now, when you write it in the exam, children, remember you don't have to draw this form. Okay, you just have to write the number and what is the information that you're supposed to write. Say, for example, question number 1, if you see, children, okay, dash branch is given here, right? Let's go back to the question. Now, is there any branch given here? Yes. So the key word is branch here. And now what is the answer that I need to write here? So Amirpet branch. Okay, children. So remember, try to search for the keywords in the blanks so that it will be very easy for you to fill the information there, children. Okay, we'll discuss about it in our further webinars as well, children. So don't get panicked. Okay, just this is just to get you acquainted with the question paper, and we shall do all these segments of the question paper in detail in our further webinars, children. Okay, now coming to question number 15, it's a curriculum vitae which is given here, children. Now, all the details are given here. Based on these details, you need to prepare a CV, children. Okay. Question number 16. As I told you, you got lucky this time. You can see three questions given here. Okay. The first one is write a short paragraph describing a process of making tea for two people. It's really very easy, right, children? It's a cakewalk. I'm also using an idiom, right? Okay. So write a short paragraph describing the process on making a flower bouquet, and then write a paragraph describing how you book a railway ticket. So, children, so out of this three, you need to just answer one. Okay. Now, question number 17 is write a letter to the principal of your school or college requesting him or her to issue your transfer, bona fide, and conduct certificates. Now, very soon, very shortly, or rather, I would say, you will be applying for your TC, bona fide, and conduct certificates, right? So, if you practice it, that would be really useful to you in your daily life, okay, in your future as well, children. So, letter writing, as I told you, we do not have informal letter, children. We only have formal letter writing, and such kind of letters will be given. The first letter is to the head of the institution, and then the second letter, if you see, it's an editorial, children. And if you see, children, you are given some hints also in this particular letter. Okay, let me read it for you, children. Write a letter to the editor based on the hints given. Plantation of trees, protecting them, rains, no problems, adaptation of 20 trees by one person, happy earth, quality life. Okay, so you are going to write a letter to the editor of a newspaper on the importance of planting trees. Okay, now look at the next letter. Okay, so it is letter to the district collector. So if you see, children, the first letter is to the head of the institution, the principal. Next is an editorial, and next to is to an official, children. Okay, that is district collector, requesting him or her to take necessary steps to close the unused open bore wells which create a big threat to children. That is a general problem, a public problem that you come across in your society, children. So you will be given three questions, as I mentioned, and you need to answer just one. And what is more important in these letters is the format and the content, children. Okay, you need to be very specific, and there is no need to mention lot many details in that. You need to be very specific when you're writing it, children, and we shall deal with this in the future webinars, children. Okay, question number 18 is a passage given here. And now what you need to do is you need to take out all the important points in this, make a note of them, and you have to give a suitable heading to it as well, children. Okay, so, and note making is already covered in the webinars, and during the next revision class, we shall just brush through that, children. Okay, next you have stress mark. 10 are given. You are supposed to answer 8 of them. Again, all these are most probably from your textbook. So if you read your textbook well, you can score very good marks in English, children. Okay. Now the last question of our question paper is write a dialogue between two friends who are going to join in an engineering college, or four or five meaningful exchanges. Now let me tell you what are these meaningful exchanges, children. Children, when you begin writing a dialogue, you will be having greeting, right? Hi, hello, how are you? So excluding that, you need to write content based strong sentences or dialogues which are related to the topic given there. Then they are meaningful exchanges, children. Okay, now the next question with internal choice given here is write a dialogue between a student and the principal establishing an English language lab at the college. Wow, what a fantastic idea, isn't it? Having a language lab. I really enjoy this question. So you have to mention what is the need and then why you need it, okay, in the form of a dialogue. And your dialogue should be so convincing that the principal really agrees to establishing an English language lecture. Now, write a dialogue fixing an appointment with the doctor on the telephone. Now, children, a dialogue on the telephone would be different, and a dialogue on the directly conversation is different, right? So, you need to be a little more formal when you are talking over a telephone because you are going to talk to a receptionist, right? So, this is something children you need to follow. The language should be very specific, and then there are some courtesies that you have to follow when you are writing a dialogue, children. We shall come to it in our further webinars, not to worry, children. Okay, now having discussed about the question paper, the marking scheme, and what are the various segments of the question paper, I hope you got a wonderful idea about the question paper, right? Now, children, let me tell you how to manage time because I hear from many of the students saying that, ma'am, time was not sufficient. We couldn't complete the paper in time. Okay, so this is a common problem most of the children face with the question paper, especially English paper children. So I just want to tell you how well you can manage time. So, children, the total time given for writing the paper is 180 minutes. Okay. Now, as I told you, section A is literature, wherein you need to write a lot. 40 marks is a big deal, right? So, you can actually if you are really thorough with that segment, you can utilize almost an hour of your the examination time in writing this section. Okay, and section B is you can roughly you can take 40 minutes because comprehension passages you need to read again and again. You need to recheck your answers, underline the keywords, and do it. So my suggestion is the first 1 hour you can cater to your literature section A, and then section B 40 minutes, and then coming to section C again, you have letter there, you have dialogue writing there, and then you even have note making. So 70 minutes on an average it would take, children. And let me tell you, if you're really perfect with section A literature questions, because you just have to write maximum 10 answers there, so you can just adjust your time there. Like you can just lessen your time there, maybe 40 minutes or so, and then that time could be used in section C, where you need to think, rethink, and write, children. Now last 10 minutes you may probably use for revising the paper, which is also very important, children, because paper presentation is also an art. And you should, if you are looking for those extra marks that you want and you want to excel, then I think this is very, very important. All right. Now, let me give you some tips for presentation. That is, while writing the examination, while writing the paper, what are the things that you have to keep in mind, children? So, first is in literature, section A. Remember, children, highlight the key points such as the name of the lesson, author, and the works. This particularly comes with the reference to context, that is your annotations, children, because when you are writing the name of the lesson or the poem or the short story, and then coming to a name of the author or the poet and his magnum opus, that is his or her best works. Okay, so these are very important, children. As a student of English, you need to know all these things, and you need to write them without any spelling mistakes in their names or the titles of the lessons. So, my suggestion is you need to really be very thorough with the names of the lessons and the names of the authors and their works. Okay, so and when you write it, also give subheadings, side headings, and then underline them smartly. Okay, and Your handwriting is also very important, children. So take care of it as well. Okay. Now, one more important thing that you need to really take care is the order of the answers, children. See, when you write them in the order, that would be very, very neat. The paper would look very neat, absolutely spotless. Okay, and that also shows us that the child is really perfect and his preparation is 100%. Okay, in case you did not get any answer, you can come to it later, leave some space. Okay, and children, mind you, this is just a suggestion. That is, there is no hard and fast rule that you have to follow it. Okay, if you're comfortable writing it in any order that you want, you can. But one section in the same order. Remember, if you're really good at section C and you want to begin your paper with section C, no issues, you can do that. But remember, all the questions under section C should be answered in an order. Okay, so and then if you're going to write section A after section C, no worries, you can do that. But remember, you should always write all the questions under that segment in an order. Okay, that is just an advice, a piece of advice, children. And then try to attempt section C and section B without choice. This I stressed upon this many times, even when I was discussing the paper. And once again, I reiterate, children, please don't take choice in section C and section B if time permits. Okay, and in case you finished your exam a little earlier, you have revised your paper. Okay, and still there is some more time left. So write as extra answers, write the question number, and then you can write there also, Sylvia. Okay, and in case whatever you have written in earlier, if there are some problems or if you lost some marks, definitely the evaluator will consider what is written in the extra answers, children, and you will be given the best of the two. So my suggestion is, please don't take choice in section C and section B. But when I say that, I don't mean letter and then dialogue and the other things. See, what you say, the other things. The extended writings are long reading discourses. I don't suggest you to write many because time won't be really sufficient to do that, children. Okay, when you're writing a letter, plan properly and write it, children. And if you still have doubt and if you have a lot of time left, then you can take a chance and you can write it. But mind you, children, you have to write it as extra, write the question number, and you can attempt, children. There's no harm in doing it. Now, children, so this is all about the blueprint of the question paper, and then what you say, the question paper pattern, and a few tips for your exam, children. And one more thing I would like to tell you is, in the coming sessions that will continue, remember, children, we will be talking about important questions from the literature. We'll be giving you some tips how to attempt and how to what are the probable questions that may appear. Okay, and I'm insisting on probable, children, so more likely to come. Okay, so and then what are the expected questions, and then how to answer comprehension passages, and how is the evaluation of the answers is done, and what are the things that you have to keep in mind while attempting comprehension passages. These we are going to take up in the coming sessions. Okay, so till then, my dear children, keep learning, manage your time properly, take breaks, children. Okay, don't sit for long hours and study because that would create a fatigue to you and that will lead to disinterest. So please keep taking breaks, exercise, and then sleep properly, children. Don't be under stress. Please just relax. We are going to take you through this phase, and we promise you that you will come out with flying colors in your exams, provided you follow these webinars properly. And then prioritize your works, your subjects, and your preparation. Now make a clear schedule and then ask for help in case you need. Okay, and you can seek help from your parents, your teachers, and also from us children if you want, and relax. Okay, so that's all for today's session, children. Thank you so much. I hope you got a good knowledge of the question paper. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. It was a wonderful session. We have given them a clear idea of the entire question paper, and now it is their task to begin with. I hope they do it better. My dear children, teacher has been insisting you on two things. One is do all your drills from the textbook, and second, your timings and all you it. So see to that you are following all the exercises or the revisions or the module. All the
Thank you, Rajni ma'am, and thank you all for giving me this opportunity.